Alrighty, what we have for us today is a little light up. And what we've got is a Coleman Milspec lantern, and these are pretty cool. They are a unique lantern. They're not like any other ones that Coleman has made, so that is one thing about them that that does definitely make you look and say, is this really a Coleman or not? It truly is. Yeah, and I also got some neat's foot oil here for pump lubrication, so I've got a lifetime supply now. Right, so back to the lantern here. So this one here, this is, let's see, it is a 1958. It says on the bottom, lantern, gasoline, leaded fuel. So yes, you are able to actually run leaded fuel in these things. And this one here has got the original globe in it, which is pretty cool. You may be able to see that, but it does say US and Pyrex in green, although it does not say Coleman. You'll see that the way the generator on here is really different. And let me just kind of get this off of here so you can see a little better. Don't mind the high-pitched squeaking, because that is kind of horrible. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Feels like the wrong thing is coming unscrewed, but it's not. These actually were captive nuts, so you couldn't lose them. So, which would be a great thing if you're out in the field. You don't want to end up losing your nuts. So this actually kept it in one spot for you. So we'll pull this out of here. It is a little bit smoky, but that is a part of the fun of starting one of these things. Probably can kind of wipe some of that off a little bit so it'll look a little better. You know, microfiber cloths are just fabulous for this kind of stuff. I mean, you can go from terrible to quite passable just almost instantly, so much nicer. But yeah, so you should be able to see on here. In fact, I've got a piece of paper that I can put inside, so you can see that you've got the US Pyrex made in USA, and also where I haven't quite cleaned off all the junk off of it. So anyway, so looking at the way that the generator is structured, they're very different. They don't have a pricker, and they are packed with fiberglass. Like fiberglass thread that's shoved up in there, and they're aluminum, and they basically come out of the bottom like a slant, go all the way up here, turn the corner, and come back down, and then spray downwards. So there is no there's no fuel air system in here. It just basically starts throwing fuel immediately. In fact, I have over here a couple of generators in an uninstalled state, so you can see those a little better. I'll just grab those super quick, or quick-ish. And this is what they look like. So yeah, no, if you ever haven't seen one of these before, you're going to go, wow, what the heck is that? But that is a generator, and you don't basically clean them. The only thing you can do is that you have a little pricker that comes on the tool, so you can clean it that way. But basically, once they clog, these were designed to be thrown away and replaced, and that was that. So going on to that, this one here, the little pricker tool, I mean, there is a tool storage on the side of these. I don't think this one has anything in it. Now, this one is empty, but what they do normally have, this this tool that's inside there. So this tool here, if I swing this out, it has the pricker on it. If I can get it out of here. Of course, it's going to fight me every step of the way. Try not to break it as I go through it, which I haven't. But anyway, there's two super fine wires in there that you can't really see, but you just have to kind of trust me that they're in there. And that's the tool that you use for cleaning it. And it's also the tool that's used for removing the generator. And it also will fit underneath here for the this nut if you really need to, but you probably won't. And then this is actually the wrench for the nozzle on the tip. It'll actually fit there, so you can take the tip out and clean it from the inside the proper way, pushing it out instead of back in. So a little bit of carbon in there. So that's the basic ins and outs of what the 252 looks like and what it does. This one I got, it doesn't have the funnel that's supposed to be with it. You'll see the gas cap is captive. I think I still have pressure in here. Yep. So I'm going to dump that. It definitely has a regular unleaded gas in it, but that's what these were designed for, so it's not a problem. When I bought this one, it had fuel in it. I haven't run all the fuel out yet, so it still has the old fuel in there that I had when I first bought it. The other interesting thing about this is that when Coleman made these, they use the base plates, which are pretty much the same as, let's see, like these 228s. You can see in here, this is one I've kind of messed with and converted over to kerosene, but there's a secondary hole in here for the air tube to go down. And if you look inside the frame here, you'll see that very same hole. So they're using the same frames, they're just not using the same parts, because this one, where it gets its air from, is from these tubes on either side. So it draws up air this way through here, and then the fuel sprays down, mixes with the air, and goes into the mantle, and off you go. So if you do get one of these, things that you should look for, make sure these tubes are clear. Have one of your flexible brushes like this, a long one that you can kind of work it around the corners. Your generator, you can actually still get these generators. Old Coleman Parts has them. I think they're maybe $10. I mean, so yeah, you can keep these running for pretty much forever. Or what I did when I started this one up, it kept clogging and clogging and clogging and clogging and clogging. So what I ended up doing was I unscrewed this, took the generator out, basically kind of kicked it over to the side so I could have access to it, and then I ran some fuel through it, and of course it clogged immediately, and I says, well, this is ridiculous. So then I unscrewed the tip, pumped it up good, ran a bunch of fuel in there to try to flush any kind of debris or whatever, or carbon that had kind of accumulated in the tube. Got that all kind of flushed out, stuck the nozzle back on there, and I, of course, after cleaning that up some, ran it. It clogged. I gave it a couple of pokes, and then it started coming out into a constant stream, and it's been fine ever since. So that would be the way that I would recommend it. So before you go throwing one of those away, just try doing that, and you might have some luck. But the real trick is to basically unscrew this and then kick it off to the side. You can make it go around this, so that way you can just have free and clear access to it while it's still pressurized, which just shortens the whole cleaning process. So what we're going to do here is light one of these up, and they're a little bit different. So because there is no, let me get this first. Okay, because there is no fuel air mixture in there. Basically what it does is that it comes out and just sprays straight fuel right into the burner tube. Now, if you pump these up too high, what'll happen is that you can get a stream of fuel shooting straight through your mantle, wrecking the mantle, and then spraying gas all everything, and then that's just a really bad time. So the deal with these is that you want to pump them up maybe only about 5 or 7 pumps before you try to light them. And we're going to light this one today with the Whoomp stick. So let's go ahead and see how lucky I get with this one. It's been behaving pretty well, so I think we should be pretty good. So we're going to give it 7 pumps. 1. Okay, that's 7. And that is kind of it. Now you're going to see a lot of this. You'll see fuel, you'll see fire, you'll see a great big giant mess. But fear not, because in a second or so, it'll clean right up. And then you get this. There we go. So that's only with 7 pumps. I probably could have done 5 because it actually came out of there really quite quickly. So now that I've got it going, I can open this. Well, I could have just opened it all the way at the very first, but nonetheless, That's how that works. Actually, you know what? I think I misspoke. In fact, I know I misspoke. It does have a fuel air mix in it. It just doesn't have the tip cleaner. So that was my mistake. It does have the fuel air in there. So you do open the quarter turn and light. It's the same process. So sorry about the confusion there. But yeah, I got it confused with the tip cleaner. But anyway, so here it is. These things make noise. They are roarer type burner. Well, they're not really a roarer type burner, but they certainly do roar. And this is making this much noise and light with only like 7 pumps. So when I get it up to like full brightness, it is really loud. And there is no sound, that the Coleman the lanterns make is like the 252 here. So yeah, they definitely are a noisy lantern. But the cool thing about it is these actually have one of the smallest fuel orifices out of all of the Coleman gas tips. So what that means is that when you load this thing up with fuel, it is going to run for a very, very, very long time. It's going to run longer than than the 228s and those type of lanterns. And you'll see, it's really catching its second wind now and going to town. So basically, that is the story with the 252. And they're pretty cool lanterns. At first I was like, well, ooh, I really want one. And then I heard about the no pricker thing. I'm like, oh man, do I really want to screw around with something like that? But now that I've actually got one and started messing around with it, it is actually a really neat and unique lantern. It definitely deserves a spot in the collection for sure. And it's really cool. So I know that if I need a lantern that I need to have, they're not the brightest in the world, but they do provide a decent amount of light, and they will run forever. You probably get 12 or 14 hours out of this thing or something. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me in the comments. I know you will. But yeah, so that is it. So that's the light up for the day. I've got a couple more of these, and they do have the complete toolkit in them. I should have brought one of those out, but maybe we'll pick that up in a separate episode. But at any rate, that is it. That's the one. So if you see one, pick it up. And they are definitely sturdy, and they're definitely pretty unique. So until next time, keep them lit.